Good morning, you badass motherfuckers. It's the All On Me, the morning drinking show. I'm your host, Greg. Getting back on this motherfucker once again. We getting back on here. Once again. Yeah. Life, motherfuckers. Life. Isn't it beautiful? Isn't life beautiful? Some of y'all like it's beautiful because it's Friday and I'm fucking worn the fuck out from the work week. Oh man, if that's your existence, my heart goes to you. I send you strength and maybe a message. Maybe a message. We're gonna switch some shit up now. Right? When? When are we gonna switch some shit up? Right? Because it's your life. And if you think about it, everything in your life is your life. It's what you do. You are a product of your consistent habits. Whether you got good habits or bad habits or a mixture of both, right? There's some inconsistency in that, right? If you take 3 steps forward and 10 steps back, that's inconsistency, right? You're not going to see results. But the beautiful thing is if you're honest with yourself, right? If you actually get honest with yourself and you realize, fuck, my life is shit right now. The good thing is that if you're in a really bad place, a lot of circumstances in your life are less than good, right? That means that it wouldn't really take a lot for things to get better. Do you believe this? It wouldn't take you a lot to start stacking up results, right? To actually start stacking some wins in your life. Because if you've literally just let shit go and it's just like a downward fucking spiral or a straight fucking beeline to the bottom, right? It don't take a whole lot to start to turn shit around. I seen this it's like a video meme. What is it? Austin Powers. He's in this little tight fucking little alleyway and somebody posted yesterday, this is me trying to turn my life around, like the fucking 50-point fucking turn in that little fucking scooter thing. And it's like, I'm sitting there and I'm watching that and I'm laughing. I'm seeing the humor in it. But I said, fuck the vehicle. Just get the fuck out of that thing. You want to turn your life around? Just get out of the vehicle you are in right now and start walking in a different direction. And really, it's your mind. You got to start shifting your mind into a different direction. That's where you will start to see the benefits, right? It's where your focus goes, where your mind is, where your eyes are on. And that's the thing. It's like, I can convince you and give you a program for better nutrition, right? Better health. And I say health cautiously because I know a lot of people that eat healthy, right? But they're still uncontrollable in this regards to their emotions, their emotional health, their mental health. But they eat super healthy, right? And they exercise a lot. So are those healthy people? Or are they just projecting that? Because if they still haven't conquered the mental and the emotional aspects of life, right? Even tying in some of that spirituality in there, I don't think you're fully healthy. I mean, you're fit, like biologically, yeah, your body may be pretty good. But again, if your mind ain't right, if you're not thinking positive thoughts, right? Having a growth mindset, believing in yourself, overcoming limiting beliefs, overcoming thoughts that hold you back, usually fear and hesitation and doubt and self-criticism, right? Any self-critics around here? Does anybody criticize themselves? God, man, the stuff you tell yourself, man, you wouldn't have any friends if you were to tell other people the shit you tell yourself. That's how bad some of our self-talk is. It's crazy. And yet we act as if we're oblivious to it. Like we don't even realize we have this whole dialogue of criticism and just negativity going on in our fucking head 24/7, 365, every fucking day, man. And it's there where you have to start to shift, right? Because at the end of the day, whatever you're consistent at, that's what you become. So if you've consistently let your health go in terms of what? Mental health, emotional health, physical health, spiritual health, right? That's who you are, right? No one else made you that. Bad things have happened to your life, but yet you still get to choose whether or not you do something about it. When something bad happens to you, right? It's like, what if you were to break your arm and you were someone to say, oh, well, this bad thing happened to me. My arm broke. I'm not going to do anything about it. I'm just going to sit here and have a broken arm. No, very few people are going to just sit there and have like a broken arm and just be like, oh, it happened. There's nothing I could do about it. Right? That's a good analogy, right? I love how this shit just flows. Thank you. Thank you, universe. Thank you, Father. Thank you, God. Right? Because it's like most of us won't do that. Right? If you have a broken arm, most of y'all aren't going to just sit there and say, oh, there's nothing I could do about it. I broke my arm. Right? I'm just going to let it be broken and maybe it'll heal itself. Maybe it won't. I don't know what I can do. Right? And that's what we do when other things happen to us that are emotional, these emotional fucking wounds, these really emotional experiences where other people hurt us, right? Sometimes it's, sometimes it's physical abuse. Sometimes it's, crazy shit like that, right? But even then, you have a choice, right? Don't you want to have choices? And you have a choice. And you have a choice to be a victim and be down and out and depressed and sad and lonely and fucking feeling insignificant and feeling like you deserve bad shit to happen to you because for whatever reason, maybe you've even done some bad shit, done some dumb shit. Don't know anything about that here, right? We don't know anything about doing dumb shit around here and then turning your life around. And it's not doing 20-point turns. See, most of you want to do the 20-point turns because you won't get out of the vehicle that got you in the mess in the first place, right? And it's really that mindset. You have to uninstall the bullshit that you have put in there. And it's all your thoughts. And that's why I preach journaling so much, right? It's so important that what we write down, our brain literally just fucking goes like super mode to say, wow, this is really important. I'm gonna like come up with ways to actually make this true. And so when you're journaling, you're not just bullshitting yourself, right? The way you bullshit others, trying to act like if their opinions matter, right? But it's like it's your way of saying, here's where I'm at and here's where I want to be. Here's what I've been through. This shit don't work, right? Living in the past isn't doing my present any good, and it's definitely not setting me up for a more successful, more happier, more loving, more prosperous, more healthy future, right? But yeah, we get caught up on it, right? We get caught up in who we used to be or what we went through, and we can't let go of that. I talked to a combat veteran the other day, and again, like I get it. I was in the veteran space for many, many, many years, right? And I've won national awards serving veterans and their families, right? Student Veterans of America. I won a national award for being the Veteran Advisor of the Year, right? Regardless of institution size, I was the Veteran Advisor of the Year for literally about 100 and at the time it was probably 120,000, 150,000 member organization, Student Veterans of America. And that's a huge honor, right? To go out to the national conference at Disney World in Florida, right? To get a personal award and then win another prize with me and a veteran, right? Winning a business plan competition out there. So it was like, I know how to help people. I know how to guide people. This is something this ain't new to me. I'm not just like, oh yeah, look at me. Yay. Right. I won today. Right. I do say that. Because I had someone come up to me recently say, I'm jealous of you. I want what you got. And it's like, that shit will fucking burn you, right? And we've all been there. We've all seen something that someone's got. We see a life that they're living. We see someone that has uh, a relationship that we want, or the type of partner that we wish we had. Like, we all are guilty of this shit, but so many of us live in denial, right? And that's a river in fucking Egypt that shouldn't be a state of your fucking being, of being in denial of all kinds of shit that is really true about who you are, right? Because when you have these conversations with yourself and you just really sit in it and you say, you know, I am jealous, but what is it about my jealousy? Like, what is it about this person that makes me feel this way? What am I lacking that I can then develop in myself to be able to improve my existence, to improve my reality? And again, you have to go back to, what are your fucking daily habits? What are you consistently being? Right? And if you're consistently being someone that is consistently looking at other people in envy and jealousy, that doesn't get you nowhere. It just overwhelms you, if anything. And that's not a fun place to be, right? Living in lack, living in scarcity, living in that poverty mindset that woe is me, and I don't deserve it, and I don't understand why they get to have this stuff and I can't. There's a lot of people, right? There's tough times, right? We're getting into tough times, hard times, right? And a lot of you motherfuckers are having to learn tough lessons, hard lessons. I embraced that shit. Right. I was listening to a podcast yesterday and the guy said, look, man, if you are at a place in your life where you feel really, really competent, really successful, just really like you're on top, right? Guess what? Like, that shit ain't going to last. The feeling of that, because you get bored. Like, as humans, we get bored. And a lot of people, like, this whole idea of peaking in high school, peaking in our 20s, it's true. We think we arrive in at such an early age because we were the high school star, or the fucking, homecoming queen, or whatever the fuck. And we think, good man, life can't get any better. Like, I'm successful and I'm 17, 16, 18. And it's like, nah, man, you got to keep transcending that. You have to keep on reimagining yourself and carrying those victories with you, knowing that there are setbacks, knowing that there are failures, knowing that there are fuck ups that you have to bounce back from. And that's what makes you so incredible, is that we have the ability to do this, that we can turn our whole life around, that right now, today could be the day that plants the seed in your mind that you say, I'm getting serious. There is nothing stopping me. It's not just a mental thing. It's now a heart thing, that I'm going to invest. I'm going to change. I'm going to start to do things different. And most of us, we don't even know where to begin, right? Because it's so hard to stop being ourselves, right? We're stubborn. We can't stop being ourselves, right? If any of you are like really hooked on alcohol, right? Like, that's just a part of your fucking culture. That's a part of your behavior, is social drinking. Here we are, Friday, the weekend. For you to not do it and go cold turkey right now, gosh, that's going to be so hard for you. It's going to be very, 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 very difficult. If that is a pattern that you have as an adult, you have been choosing to do that. It is a pattern. You are consistently being yourself, which is, I'm a weekend fucking party animal, right? My 40s, my 50s, I'm still partying. Fuck, man. Why? Why? I don't even want to know why. I know that deep down inside of you, right? All that social interaction, I don't know. If it does something for you, so be it, man. I'm not here to judge your asses, right? I just couldn't imagine myself still caught up in the drink, still caught up in fucking happy hours, and just, gotta get, man, let's meet up, man. Let's go. Let's just go sit at a fucking bar and get wasted. That's not fun, man. I talked to someone recently that um, is starting to turn that page, right? Is doing that self-reflection of saying, man, I don't like hangovers. I don't like who I am when I'm drunk. And it's like, I don't think there's anybody that, if you really, 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 really get honest with yourself, I don't think there's anybody that doesn't feel that way. Am I right? Am I wrong? I truly do not believe that there is anyone, if they're truly fucking honest with themselves, right? Being hungover in your 30s, your 40s, your 50s, beyond, like, how, there's no way that you are like okay with feeling like that. And definitely a lot of people, when they get drunk and how they act and how they behave and the things that they do, there's a lot of regret in that too, isn't there? So I don't think anybody's exempt from it. I just think that we just don't know anything else. That's consistently being yourself, right? That's who you are. And so, we always hear people say, well, I just need more consistency. You are consistent. You consistently show up and do what you do. So every single person is capable of consistency, but what consistency are you doing? What are the actions that show me that this is you? This is what's important to you. This is a pattern, right? Because in order for you to break those patterns, there has to be something greater pulling you in a different direction, right? And unfortunately for so many people, myself included, I'm too stubborn. I had to hit rock motherfucking bottom. Oh, man. And I've hit a few rock bottoms, right? In order for me to wake up and turn my fucking life around, right? Abandon the ship, headed in the wrong direction, and say, I'm going to climb my way. I'm going to crawl my way out of this fucking pit. And even then, when I got to the top, that wasn't the top. That was fucking ground floor. And I still had peaks and valleys and mountains and fucking all kinds of shit to get through and overcome in order to get to here. Man, you guys have no idea, man, what it has taken me to get here. How many times I want to kill myself. How many times I wanted to just fucking give up, man. That's how hard this shit is. It's not easy. Real fucking talk. It's not easy, but it's worth it. Because living that life, right? Putting myself in that much risk, feeling that way, that's not worth it either. Right? The chance of dying an early death, dying because of some kind of crazy fucking disease or fucking heart issues or health issues, or losing freedom by being fucking locked up in a cage. None of that shit sounds fucking fun to me. Right? As a result of what? My bad habits, my consistency to want to just get fucked up and party. Yeah, woo! It's fucking party, man. Party, 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 man. No one partied more than me. I've partied all over this fucking world. I'm good. I'm good, right? You keep doing you, though. But know that that's the consistency, right? The consistency is a pattern that every Friday, boom, man, we got to fucking rally the troops. Let's go hang out. Let's go party, right? Whether it's at the house or out there, because most of y'all don't even got fucking places. That's another sad thing, but you're investing all this energy. It's like, damn, it's like a continuation of high school. Did some of you guys get locked in this mindset that you're still in high school, but you don't have to go to class? I mean, I grew up in the 90s of high school, and we used to party like motherfuckers, man. Crazy, huge parties. But again, we had to go to school. We were required to go to school, right? And I played sports too. But then we would party like on the weekends and at night, right? It was always about partying. And now a lot of you grew up and you're like, you never had an ambition to go to school, or you never really had a lot of ambition to do much in your life. So it was like it's like a continuation, but you don't have to show up to class, but you do still have to go show up to work. right? You do still have to answer to a boss. You do still have to request for time off. You do still have to like answer and, you know, wait for your paycheck so you can pay all them bills, right? So your freedom is not really that great. But then again, you've settled for less. You have said, you know what, I'm good. And in life, especially as prices and everything keeps getting more and more expensive, it's not about spending less, it's about making more. And how do you make more? Well, you start fucking coming up with some new ways on how to make money, right? And that's a whole nother topic for a whole nother day. But man, if you don't have like multiple streams of income coming in this day and age, yeah, you're gonna be struggling. You're gonna be financially fucking crushed. And most people want, again, instant success, right? You're not willing to truly develop the skills and the talents and then listen to the feedback saying, hey, if my business isn't working, I need to make adjustments and I need to shift things up, or I need to seek more advice, or I need to pay for someone to be a consultant. And a lot of people don't want to pay for someone else to help you along your path, right? And, you know, good for you. Good for you, man, right? Don't ever have to pay anybody to get advice, to get guidance, to seek counsel, right? To get a real in-depth perspective to show what it is you've been doing so that someone can analyze it and say, hey, look, make these little tweaks. And if it quadruples 10 times, 10x is your fucking income, is that not worth it? Right? And it's the same thing with your health, right? It's the same thing with education, right? If you want to go back to school, you go talk to a career counselor, right? An academic advisor. But again, most of y'all don't want to do these things. So you're just going to consistently be yourself, right? Like everybody's been crying and hemming and hawing about the cold weather and being over winter and all this other bullshit. So now it's getting warmer again. So the days are getting longer and now you're going to fuck off even more, right? As opposed to someone like myself, like many others, right, that are actually seeing success and realizing real success. It's like I treat every day the same. Yes, I have days that I get to just totally relax. And what's beautiful is even when I'm relaxing, I'm making money, right? When I'm working, I'm making money. When I'm relaxing, I'm making money. When I'm on vacation, I'm making money. It's making money all the time because I'm not having to trade my time for money, right? I've learned how to change that philosophy. And most of us, that was one of the biggest lies, right? That go get a job and then the longer you stay there, you'll eventually get raises. And then, you know, that's how you get to do stuff. And it's like, man, most of us realize that's a lie because you still have to show up in order to get that check. If you don't show up, then you don't get the check. And yet that sounds like bondage, slavery, as opposed to having the money make money for you, right? Having things that you can own make money for you, right? There's got to be a better way, you guys. And there is. But again, are you willing to start learning? Are you willing to start investing, right? Not like in stocks and crypto and all this other bullshit. Are you ready to start investing in you, right? The mental, emotional, spiritual, and physical health that you need to start doing. Or is it just the same old story, right? Same old story. Springtime is here. Yay, the birds and the bees. Time to get outside. Maybe I'll get a little tan on my arms, right? I'm too embarrassed to go to fucking pool without my shirt, right? Because I'm just nasty. I'm not in good health. I'm not in good shape, but who the fuck cares? Most other people aren't either, right? And that, you know that shit sucks. But if that's consistently who you want to be, that's consistent, you have to own it. Own it, at least own it. At the very least, can you own, right, what you're consistent at, right? I wish some of you would be more proud of just being consistently like negative, like to get on there and say, man, you know, I realize if I go back on my feed, like I'm consistently always crying out for help, right? Which tells me I have a lot of insecurity in who I am, right? Because I'm looking for someone to come and save me. But wait, I have a savior. His name's Jesus, but maybe that's not even good enough. So I'm still crying out for help because you need to save yourself, right? There's inconsistency there, or there's not inconsistency, insecurity, right? Emotional insecurity. You don't feel safe, right? And you're afraid of this world. Something happened to you early on, 0 to 10, and that shit is still playing out as an adult. Even as you, as now a parent, you have transcended being just a child. Your child is still very scared of this world, and there's a lot of insecurity there. If you're someone that consistently posts up like food porn, right? All these meals and all this fucking just, and you really look at it, and you got to take a look. You got to examine yourself. What are you consistently posting on social media? Like, this is the test. What do you consistently post on social media, right? Are you posting about your own life, right? Are you a family person and you're constantly posting about your family outings, your family endeavors, family gatherings? Then that's awesome. But if you're someone that's like constantly posting about food, right? And you know that you are someone that's overweight and feeling unhealthy, right? Like, that's the consistency. And so you need to switch that up. At least be more mindful to say, I'm going to post truly more healthy food, right? Lean food, food that actually is going to bring you life and not just quick pleasure and feeling like shit the next day. Because what you eat today is how you feel tomorrow. And even though you indulge in the pizzas and the fucking, enchiladas and the just all of this oil and rich food, comfort food, man, like, it leaves you feeling like shit the next day. If you're someone that's constantly posting about divisiveness and political fucking banter and just, uneasiness, well, guess what? That's your consistency. And that definitely plays out in your psyche, right? That you are just really angry. You're very upset about the world and the country. And guess what? Like, that's going to play out in the rest of your life. You're going to be very unhappy with a lot of shit going on in your own personal life. Because if you ain't happy, if you can't see past just the bullshit and the politics of this world, the geopolitical stances that's happening, which you have zero control over, right? But you're constantly just posting about political bullshit, right? That has full control over your fucking life. And they love it when you do that. It's very empowering for them, for you to do that, right? As opposed to just worrying about your own shit, worrying about what you can control, right? If you're constantly posting about um, relationship issues, right? Guess what? You're going to have a lot of relationship issues, right? And so we need to be mindful of what it is that we're currently consistent at if you want to change things up. Because it's not until you get to an awareness to where you're like, okay, this is my pattern of consistency right now, right? I am not eating healthy, right? I don't have someone to hold me accountable so that I can learn how to eat healthier. I can learn how to make more money. I can learn how to get my ass back in class and achieve some kind of academic success that could bring me more income, right? Because it's usually not about saving or spending less, it's about making more. But spending habits can also be improved. A lot of you buy shit you just don't need, right? Gotta have a bigger fucking TV, man. So you can just feel like it's that much more real. I think that's what a big TV is about, because the bigger the TV, you feel like, wow, it's that much more real. It's like a window. I feel like I know these people. And it's not, man. You don't know them, they don't know you, but they do appreciate you. They appreciate you because while you're watching them, they're making money. Thank you. They appreciate you, right? You should at least like write them a letter and say, hey man, can you at least send me a birthday card? I've cheered for you guys for 20 years, 40 years, my whole entire life. I have cheered for every single game, every single play. every single win, every single loss, I still cheered for you. Can you guys send me a birthday card this year? Right? Right? At the very least, man, they should send you, your team should at least send you a birthday card, right? Your favorite player should send you a birthday card, right? Because all you do is like cheer them and like support them and buy their jerseys and all this shit. I love talking that shit, man. But I also love seeing people get to that breaking point where they're just so tired of the bullshit they put themselves through. And I keep emphasizing that. You have put yourself through the problems you got. You have stacked on the overweight. You are the one with the bad eating habits, right? The eating disorders. You are the one that's not taking care of yourself, right? As you take care of others, right? Thus, you are the answer to all of your problems. You have everything you need inside of you, but yes, you keep it locked away because you're afraid, right? You're afraid what is going to happen, right? If I do this, I'm not ready for the challenge. And it's like no one is. Did you hear that? Nobody's ready for the challenge until you start to build self-confidence so that as the challenges come, right, you can now recognize them and say, I'm going to get through this. I'm going to give it my all for this challenge. And maybe I fall, maybe I rise. Either way, I'm not giving up because I have something I am trying to achieve. And no, it's not going to be easy. And yes, I'm okay if it's difficult. That goes back to the podcast I was watching. Is if you are feeling like you're at the top of your game, the top of your career, you know what I mean? And like everything is just really feeling smooth, right? Then you're probably pretty unfulfilled. That don't make sense, does it? Right? You're at the top of your game, the top of your career. Life is pretty smooth and just there's not a lot of waves and shit. You're probably pretty unfulfilled. You're probably not that happy, right? Because there is something intrinsic inside of us as humans that we're always seeking the next challenge. It's kind of like video games. You need to get to a harder level, right? You need to go up against a harder boss or a tougher bad guy or villain, you know, at the end to beat the level. Like it's that video game mindset. And yet that's real life also, that it's not just games. I mean, life is a game. I believe life's a game. I play life as a game. I've always said that, right? You got to figure out how to flip the switch and just go into fucking game mode and just kick ass, right? And you get to respawn as many times as you want if you're getting your ass kicked too. But those challenges, if you're open to the learning in the process, like it doesn't take you out. It fucking builds you up. And so many of us, we just don't think we have it in us. And that's all lies. Those are lies. You have it in you. You can achieve whatever you want. If you are not content with who you are right now, right? You can switch up. By the end of the day, you could be feeling better if you started to change and starting new patterns of health, new patterns of consistency. And it's not going to come easy. But that's why having accountability is so important, right? Because I can keep talking to the screen, which is reaching you, right? But if you're not reciprocating the conversation where you're coming back at me saying, hey, man, like, I really appreciate the talk this morning, the message, I need help. What is it going to take for you to start helping me, guiding me along my journey, my path, so that I can really build some momentum, some self-confidence, and then start taking life by the fucking horns, right? And that's where so many people, we are programmed to just consume, and you're just looking to be entertained. This is not entertainment, right? My message is not like watching your sports. It's not like watching the fucking tube, the shows that you like. This is real motherfucking talk. This is not for your entertainment value, right? This isn't to entertain your ass. This is to challenge you motherfuckers, right? And what am I trying to challenge you to do, right? Break out of your fucking patterns that you have right now, your consistency that has led you to a place that you have to look at other people and wish you could be them, wish you could have what they have, right? and just acting as if like that's not gonna happen. I'm not that lucky. I'm not that talented. I'm not this. I'm not that. I'm not. Nah, nah. I'm not. Right? Any of that shit sound familiar? That's what's going on in your head, right? And to be that as a human, it's like we don't know who the fuck you are. That's why I believe in people so much, because I don't know who the fuck you are. I don't know who I am yet. And that's the truth. If you were to go all in on you, we, we just don't know who you become in this world. Who you become if you just went all in, all out, distancing yourself from bullshit, separating yourselves from negative, toxic other motherfuckers that are gonna hate on you, bag on you, rag on you for trying to improve your life, because that then shines fucking light on them, saying that they're gonna feel insignificant, that they need work to do, and they don't want that. Misery loves fucking company. So y'all keep settling. But remember, reciprocity is number one. I do not get on here for entertainment, right? I get on here to reach you motherfuckers, so that those of you that actually come and back to me say, you know what? I need help. I'm ready for some accountability. Yeah, it's scary. Yeah, it's all this. Yeah, it's that. I ain't going to bite anybody, right? I'm just going to light a fire in your ass. I'm going to hold you accountable. And guess what? I'll use some compassion along that process. But ultimately, I'm going to use compression to really allow you to see how strong you are, how tough you are, to start believing in yourself, to say, hey, if you got a goal, we're going to get to that goal, right? And yes, there's going to be resistance. That means there's going to be an opposing force as you're trying to move forward. Something's going to oppose you. There's energy in this world. And if you have been focusing energy in directions that are just easy, right? Don't seem like they take any effort. You just keep showing up and feeling like shit, right? For you to fucking get out of that vehicle and then have to start to walk up a fucking mountain, there's going to be an opposing force wanting you to get back into what you're used to. It's like our minds are almost against us until we tell them who's in fucking charge. And that's what it takes, is saying, taking back control over your life, not living like a fucking accident, not settling for whatever you have created if it's not giving you the fulfillment you deserve, right? Because I always say, man, the more shit you've been through, right, the harder your life has been. I really, truly, truly, truly believe the bigger the breakthrough, the bigger the calling, the bigger the potential, the more fucking opportunity you have to truly shine, right? Shine your light to the world, to truly be an inspiration to other people, because you haven't given up yet. Neither have I. That's why I'm going to keep getting back on this motherfucker, because you know the drill. Results kill excuses. It's all on me. Greg's out.